Hello and welcome to another casted game of Dominion 6. I am very pleased to announce that I have another tournament game to do the cast of, this time in the late age. Joining me again is Erytheia.
Hello, back again.
Back again. Yeah, so the original person couldn't commit the time to doing this, so we have been given another game to put up for everyone, so that's pretty exciting. I will say right from the get-go that the pace, unfortunately, will not be quite as regular as the last one, and it will not be every day, just because to make it possible to put one out every day, we had been recording as the game went on, and in this game, that is not true. We have not been given any of the videos until after the game was over. So, you'll have to all bear with me. The schedule will be a little bit slower. But with that said, we can go ahead and get into the game. There are, I believe, a couple of missing turns. So we will work with what we have. All right. So this is an LA game. And let's go ahead and before we look at any of this stuff, we'll go through our nation list and our player list. Now, of course, the nation list is different than the player list order here, so you'll have to bear with me. We also did not get to see the bands. So we are assuming some bands. I assumed Andromeda is banned. I assume Pan is banned. I think we assume Lemuria is banned. But we don't know for sure. All right, so first we have Satis being played by Inf Changjiang. Also, of course, I'm going to mispronounce everything, so you'll have to work with me.
I'm sure that was 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Guaranteed.
Their god is ZZ, and then some numbers. We have Erytheia being played by Antonius as Demonax. Agartha is being played by Morvark Princess, who evidently randomed into the wrong age, stumbled into round 2. Marignon is being played by Hashashin. They are the Bronze Colossus. I wonder if they actually took a Bronze Colossus.
I hope they did, and it's like a double bluff.
Yeah. Zabalba is played by Lil Shark. Tried so hard to give me your energy. Piconye is played by Lavish Ruin, Shelter. Midgard is played by Cop, The Thang. We have a Bogarus played by Gog Magog. Skabetko Health and Wellness. And then we have, finally, Gath being played by Axone. Eerie Wind of Curse. Okay, so I guess we'll start. So, Arpades, you play more LA than I do, which is pretty easy to do because I play almost no LA at all. So I guess...
Yeah, I think that's from the new castings game. That was in LA, and then I played in that on Lucid's channel.
Yep.
Not particularly well, but I got there to the end of the game. And yeah, I just think I played that more than the other ages, which I think is maybe slightly unusual, but it's just one of my comfort zone, I think, because that's just what I mainly started out doing.
Yeah, and I think for my understanding, right, from the games I've seen, LA, right, tends to be larger armies, right? You have more money, so you have more troops. You have more mages, you have more forts. Some nations get citadels for extra mages, and all those extra mages tend to produce faster research. So we'll get larger armies and higher magic a little bit more swiftly than you might see in other ages. And then on the other hand, of course, there are fewer gems. So you will see not so many, completely geared out things. There aren't as many giants, although of course we do in fact have some. What do you think of these? What do you like from the nations here?
I'm a huge fan of Gath. That's probably my top 2 nations I like in the game. Huge fan of them. I think they're super strong. We saw them win the last tournament
We did.
Yeah, Agartha, I think is more interesting in Dominion 6 than it was in Dominions 5, so I think that will be an interesting pick. And Elasatis, I think it'd be very interesting to see what kind of bless they pick.
Right. This is post nerf.
We should have a few sort of nations here with interesting blesses to mix it up with a lot of the Scales nations.
Yep. I think I'm also I'm a big Gath enjoyer. Obviously, gotta keep the Rephite line. I'm excited to see Marignon and their 10,000 commanders.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of development in what kind of builds are good with Marignon recently. So I think it'll be interesting to see what this player picks.
Yeah, I agree. And then Piconye, of course, is new to Dominion 6.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a nation I would have been thinking to pick for a game like this. But I think they have got some useful tools they can use. And they also might be less sort of understood, so you might be able to get some sort of asymmetric information advantage on your opponents with them.
Could be. Yeah, I would agree. I don't tend to think of them as being particularly strong. Bogarus has a reputation for having terrible troops and getting run over early, but being strong late. Agartha, I feel like, has some of that as well. And Zib has that.
Are they going to be above ground in this game?
I believe they are.
Okay.
I think everybody is above ground. But I'm actually not 100% sure. But I think, they're above ground because there's no other flags down here.
We have shitty armor above ground in our...
Yeah, that's true. So, all right, well, let's get into... We got some messages. We got one from Piconye. Personally, I think I'm probably a weaker player than the others in this game, and I'm more of a Diplo player at heart. So I wanted to pick a nation that'd be strong early and mid-game, but not one seen as a threat. Is Piconye strong early and mid-game?
Well, I guess you have a lot of sacreds you can make.
Okay.
And you also have some sacreds... You can, like, mass up the ones that give the fatigue to sacreds. So maybe you have some strength against certain nations, and you can research pretty well. Yeah, you get gifts from heaven, body ethereal, some gifts from heaven unions, or some lots of point buffs. So
yeah,
maybe I still don't think I would have said they're particularly strong.
Well, but I guess we'll see if they can prove it. We'll see, yeah. They have a decent expansion, especially for the late age. But the most important thing is they can handle all the potential hell blesses through use of the excellent Bacillus and strategic ethereal H3s, but they also do phenomenal in early scales battles with the highly efficient crossbow, and very few nations have air, making crossbows better for longer. Early mid-game, I'll rely on mini turbos with death balls, and who can say what will happen late game? Yeah, I think there's not too much point in planning for the very late game. The two things I'm most concerned with are late game scaling, as I'll probably scale the worst, and raiding, as before I have a lot of magic phase options, map move is brutal. Piconye has the human problem for late age, or for late game, but like even worse. They're even smaller.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be potentially a problem if they get there. He didn't call it. They can be quite weak to evocations too, right? You're packing even more stuff into each square.
Yeah, especially if you don't have some resists that you need.
Yeah. On the other hand, right, that does mean that they can point buff more effectively, right? They're putting more bodies to a square. So double-edged sword.
Yep. I think with the Bacillus, I think that's pretty good against Zib. Maybe slightly less good against Gath because they have inbuilt magic weapons, but you're also fighting less, so the fatigue's better. I'm not sure how good it would be against Satis.
I wouldn't think it would do that much.
Worse, but, I do think it's a particular strength that Piconye has.
Yeah, it is AoE 1. So that means that if you've got 4 of these guys in a square, you are putting 4 of this effect out. If you get hits.
Yeah. So I think you can have 5, yeah.
Oh, 5. Yeah, that's right, 5. Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's the same effect I think like the Ghoul Guardians and stuff have for Ulm.
Yeah, yeah. You are paying 13 gold for 8 HP. It's always a bit rough, but
Yep. Yeah, they have pretty good defense though and stuff, so they can be surprisingly tanky, I think.
Okay, yeah, they do. 17 defense is quite a lot. God, I mean, I'm just envisioning Gath doing bloodletting or something like that against these little.
There's a lot of stuff, but
but yeah, they can get a lot of sacreds. They do get a bonus plus point. They have cheap temples, so I'm interested to see what they come up with. Apparently, they have horns.
Yeah, I do like that they seem to have a pretty good idea of what stuff they're gonna need to do and a plan of where their strengths are, and I like that gives me confidence to them having a good start at least.
Yeah.
And also if they have a good plan for expansion, that that's kind of a base level of what they need.
Yes.
But,
yes.
It should be good.
Okay. And then we also got a message from Erytheia. Hello, Zan. Okay, this is supposed to be Zan's game. Just some notes.
I'm not going to do any impression.
No. We're not going to put his level of effort into the editing either. Okay.
Yep.
Notes in the build for posterity. The nation has a ton of problems. Expansion is really bad, so you're restricted.
That's not a good this guy.
You are really restricted in pretender choice because you have to solve the expansion problem. I think so. You've played more LA. This definitely feels like a thing that LA nations have to think even more about than the others. I'm in a Femini game, and it became clear to me very quickly that we were going to be taking an expander and that you really didn't have another choice.
Yeah, I think once you played enough in LA, it feels like a lot less of an issue.
Okay.
And it's also important to note that everyone else is also dealing with it. So,
right,
like the timings you need to hit for how many provinces
could be a little
might
slower.
Not be as as punishing.
Although I would think that the best nations still hit the same timings as you would, even in something like EA or MA.
Yeah, there's certain like thresholds. Like Gath, if you just get if your giants have certain stuff, you'll kill anything pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. And we saw the Erytheia in the tournament game take an antlion, right? Or the Myrmicolian.
Oh, in the last final? Yeah, I think they did,
Yeah. Okay. Deduco are amazing, and you really like a Mage Bless to show up their weaknesses, human stats, old age. Yep. Gone for an Awake Researcher to carry a Mage Bless while expanding somewhat reliably with Body Ethereal. Okay.
Okay. That strikes me as potentially being somewhat greedy.
Yeah, it means that you don't have you probably don't have anything super great to help you win a first war. You're just gonna have to hope to be ahead on research, and that matters.
Yeah. Although I think if they're one of the nations that can use research, I think particularly in the mid game, better than pretty much any other nation.
Yeah, I think one of my problems or one of my concerns when you are going for like a research sort of focused build, where like that's like your plan is to be ahead on research, and that's your way to win your first war, is that not all your opponents are going to have the same weaknesses, and so you can get yourself in a spot where it's hard to research around everyone.
Yeah, and it can also, if you're planning on, using Body Ethereal to expand with, and someone has magic weapons,
right,
there's definitely a tiny window where someone can hit you.
Yep. But okay, so they're going to go Alt 3, Evo 3, Thaum, Conj. Okay. Well, it's starting to go for an Awake Monster or a Dormant TGK. Not sure what that is. I figure if I can't win a first roar with that research.
Was he the Bronze Colossus name?
No, that was Marignon.
Okay. Some people definitely know when they're watching this. Like, why do they not know this?
Well, it's Demon Axe. Okay, yeah, I don't know what that is. TGK. Okay, so but basically they've picked their name as a misdirect. So that's interesting. All right, did everybody rename? We got Elephant Idol. Okay, so this guy, his god is, his bronze class is, his prophet is Elephant Idol.
Yeah.
Word Bearer. Manic. Atrahasi. I don't know that one. Oh. Rover. One birdie boy, please. And Expendable Fish Boy. Okay.
Well, you don't want to be called Expendable Fish Boy.
All right, and this is turn 2. So we had some people who expanded on turn 1. Probably, I expect a lot of these are actually scout pings, but let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scout ping. And it finds some woodsmen. That's pretty nice for LA. Scout.
Should we just have a look at the map and see what these are?
No, we have to click on each one. Ooh, that's a lot of heavy cav.
Oh.
And crossbows. Or wait, hold on. Somebody cast air shield? This guy, oh, this is, see, this is why we can't just click. This is the god.
Yeah, he's going to transform.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried for him.
So, mirror image, personal mist form is going to go a long way.
Air shield will help a lot against the crossbows.
Yep.
I mean, if he can...
He's got poison stuff. Like, I think he'll be okay. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, because he's just going to, like, trash all their stats. Although he's immediately lost his... If his mist form pops, he'll be in real trouble. But if it holds...
Less likely now the lances have all hit.
Yeah. And their stats are already going to trash in the poison here. Does he have a bless?
Yeah. I only said I was a little worried because this is basically the worst case scenario.
Yeah. That's true. But it seems like he's going to be... It did pop, but late enough that I think he's okay. Yeah, but you can. You're right. You can definitely imagine a scenario where that popped earlier because he did take quite a bit of damage even at the end.
Yeah, didn't get any afflictions though, so
yeah. Well, so we'll have to see. We're gonna have replay bugs for everything probably.
Most likely. So maybe he did lose. Oh, there's still suspense.
Yes, he did lose.
He did. Oh no, I feel like I jinxed that.
Oh no.
No.
But he didn't die. I think that's how you read this.
No, yeah, it's that. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. That's
You never know what's going to happen on these episodes.
No. And that, okay. So yeah, so that's a good note. We will see a lot of replay bugs. And so for everybody, all the players watching, and you'll have a chance to see that things could have gone differently. Heavy cav for the Van Nage Midgard. Okay. So
yeah, let's see where people are.
Yeah. So Marignon has a Titan of War and Wisdom, an Awake Titan.
Okay.
That's interesting. Wonder if he's planning... I mean, I assume he's planning to expand with that. Probably needs some gear.
Yeah, I think first turn, he forged some gear, and then hopefully we see it go out next turn.
Yeah, they're actually... His stuff looks very doable. I mean, I guess there's some heavy cav here.
Anything that looks particularly
I guess
difficult.
this is heavy cav, but... I guess there are a decent number of heavy cav around. They're just getting hidden by the troops, but that should mean that there aren't quite as many of them.
There shouldn't mean there's too many, and if you've got a Titan. I do like a Titan on Marignan, I think.
I could see it. Yeah, we'll have to see what the bless is when it pops out, but it is interesting. I don't feel like I've seen a ton of Titan success in Dominion 6. So curious to see, because if he's assuming he's going to expand with it, my feeling when I was like picking my expander for a different game was that I wanted it to be able to blind expand, and that I was basically I was not, well, because I was going back and forth with someone, I was not willing to take an expander that had to wait.
I think it's fine waiting for one turn. If you can make some gear, and it can. I'm not actually exactly sure which the Titan of War or Wisdom is, but I think if you can make some gear on your first turn, or make sure you get one research and then you can go next turn, I think it's completely fine. It's
probably. I just find that the tempo difference that I found right from getting that whole extra turn of recruitment or like of resources and stuff was huge.
I mean, it'd be nice. I don't feel like it would be as crucial.
Okay.
If he's having to wait till turn 5 or 6, then I don't think it's worth it. You just go.
Oh, that's definitely way too late.
Because it also depends what kind of utility this gives you in like your first war and stuff. And I think a Titan for Marignan can be pretty great.
Yeah, it's definitely a trade-off. Okay, Erytheia. We know he has the Awake, the Grand Hierophant. So that's fun.
Yeah, very easy lake to go into. Honestly, looks fairly simple apart from that one farm province.
Yes, which it does look a bit chunky.
Yeah. Although that's also like the light cavalry and militia, so it might not be as difficult as it might first appear.
That's true. Okay. And then Gath has got an Awake Anunnaki of Love and War. So another Awake Titan.
So they've gone Drain Scales. So they're going to play the Drain Gath.
Yes.
With the Iskarite
Yep.
Sages, I think.
Yeah. And the Anunnaki...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Anunnaki of Love and War is, I think, Air, Earth, Nature. So probably Regen. Would be Regen and something else is my guess.
Or it could be larger.
Could be larger. But, okay. And they've got Heavy Cav. Okay. Got some long dead Cav. But okay. So Gath is actually between both the nations that have some mobility sort of advantage, right? Because like they can pop up out of the water here, and Gath's gonna have a really hard time contesting the water. And Marignan can sail over this to kind of pressure a lot of Gath.
Yeah, that's definitely rough.
So to watch out for that. Agartha. I don't think we can see much of anything going on. They have
it's a big cave system, isn't it? A big load of like highlands and
yes, and I mean, look, they have much easier expansion.
So these are caves on
the surface.
On the surface layer.
That's right. His whole cap circle is caves.
Okay. Yeah.
And that has generated some very easy indies for him. Which is pretty nice. Plus, he can recruit his payloads.
That seems like a pretty good advantage, them getting all of that in that cap circle.
Yeah. They are quite small, though, when you consider what age this is.
Yeah. I just mean for, like, fighting a war. Like.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's a big advantage for fighting a defensive war. Piconye. We obviously read the message from him. Don't know what he's got. Heavy cav. Heavy cav. Some heavy cav. Bogarus, yeah, did not successfully take the province with the Lenormand.
No, it's still like fairly reasonable scales considering he's got an awake.
He has militia. I wonder, did he get the event? Yeah. I'm assuming that he got the event, which is why he has so many militia in his capital.
Yeah, I must have.
But those could be like little arrow bait squads, like to help work on all these crossbows.
Yeah, he's got some Jade Amazons and some Lizard Shamans he can pick up as well, so that might be pretty nice.
Now, I think he, and that's going to add nature to his community, which is huge, because Bogarus does not have that. So that's a great pair of pickups for him. I don't know if does Bogarus have water?
I'm not 100% familiar, but I don't think so.
No. So yeah, some really nice options for him.
Yeah, pretty great.
Midgard.
Yeah, that is something that I wish they would add more unique indie types to late age.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, we see a Demi-Lich. The Awake Demi-Lich. So that's obviously not expanding. But it's probably holding a decent sized bless and is researching.
Yeah, and hopefully it can magic phase and...
Yeah, sure, it'll be an absolute...
cause people to die for a bit.
Absolute terror for everyone. Heavy cav. Couple of heavy calves. And then Xibalba also has a cave start. I'm curious to see, so Xibalba has got some very interesting expansion options. I don't know, there was...
a great mother as well. Should be interesting.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
There was a guide put out for Xibalba and bats and how to manipulate the AI to expand very quickly with Xibalba in cave systems.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, the guide claimed that, and we obviously, now that I think about it, it's already turn 2, so I don't know if we'll see this or not, but that you could potentially even get 3 or 4 expansions out on your first turn, I think, if you're willing to risk them. And basically, if I remember correctly, you had to use you have to use the research globes as commanders to do it.
Right.
But basically the idea is you're going to put your bats into smaller squads, like very small squads, because each squad targets rear separately. And so by putting them in lots of squads, you can increase the chances of essentially sniping the commanders.
Okay.
You do take...
interesting that you sort of sacrifice research for more expansion.
Yeah.
Sort of an interesting interaction between the game mechanics there.
Yeah. Now, that was mostly written for EA, but I assume for LA it should be very similar, right? Because the indies are pretty much the same. So that we didn't see it yet, but maybe we'll see it this turn. With this Awake Great Mother, though, I assume we'll see her roll out as well.
Yeah, I'm interested because he's trashed a lot of his scales, although he's still got some decent ones as well, so it's not like a full hell bless. I'm interested to see what this bless and build is going to be exactly.
Yeah, and Awake Great Mother's pretty expensive. I don't think this can be a huge bless.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like just nature as well, base. I think so.
It might be nature earth.
Yeah, it might be actually. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see because one of the much more dependent on their bless nations.
Yeah. And that Great Mother does not have fire blood, so, or at least extremely unlikely to. So she will not be doing Jaguar summoning, which is a problem for LA Zib. They don't really have the cross path.
Yeah, and he's got Misfortune, so he's less likely to get the heroes as well.
Yep. And then I think last but not least is Satis, who has got an Awake Sarlich. I think a big bless is to be expected. Actually, yeah. Their scales are not even as bad as I thought they would be.
No. Funny that they're going to get the Charmans.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that is amusing.
Yeah. And there's ghouls in their cap circles, so everything's going to be...
Yeah. We might have Repop the Dead on, because this is too many people for a ghoul province, I think. I guess we could talk about the mod list, actually, while we're here. Just real quick. So we have gem longevity per month, so you can only spend gems once per month. So gem burning is going to be a slower thing, and you can't really use it to get somebody in a particular battle, which I am generally a pretty big fan of. I think that Dominions has enough logistics as it is, and having to put more and more gems on to make an army able to walk somewhere, I think leads to very defensive play, and sort of slows the game down. So I'm pretty happy with longevity.
I'm a fan of it as well. Yeah.
Improved casting, omniscience. We have the gem gens. Repop the Dead is on. Thematic capitals, thematic temperature resistance. This, if you have a capital that starts in like a waste, I believe this will fix your growth scale, so you're not just like wrecked by starting in a waste.
Yeah, huge fan of that.
Trusty, and then Worthy Heroes. So yeah, all right. Some good stuff here. I think that's probably. Do you have any other thoughts for this turn 2?
No, I think we can just delve into stuff in the next episode.
Yeah, as we go. Yeah.
I think I'd just like to say before we end this off. We're recording this a few weeks after the final episode of our last series on the tournament came out. Just wanted to thank people that left a lot of nice comments on that on Lucid's Discord and on YouTube and stuff. So if you did that, I appreciate that. A lot of them were very nice. So thanks for that.
Yes. No, absolutely. There were a lot of positive feedback. Also, I will note that there is an underwater Merc option, which Marignon in particular should probably. Or Marignon, where does Marignon? Did they take they didn't take a coastal start.
No, they haven't. No.
So okay, but they do want to potentially get these legs, but still. Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and call it here. We're excited to be back. We're excited to do another game, and we hope that I hope it's a good one and everybody has a good time watching. So, Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and we'll look to see everyone in the next episode. Have a great day.
Peace.